Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. Mother and Sri Aurobindo is my refuge. Very good morning. Welcome everyone. Today we are going to have a very short discussion, quarter on our discussion on death. On death, we are going to have a discussion today. Today's the topic of discussion is on death. Very important topic. As we know, death is the end of all human road. So we know jatasya hi dhruvang mrityu. We have taken it for granted, as we have taken bath. The only truth before us, the only destiny, only fate is that death. But we don't know what is the true death, what is the significance, what is the mystery of death. Till now, things are obscured, or even if the people are semi-conscious also, it is also half known for them or unknown. So we must be in a position to know what is the death, the significance of death, and the mystery of death. Sri Aurobindo speaks of the one or two sentences like, death is the spirit's opportunity. Death is the spirit's opportunity. Death is the passport to immortality. So considering these things, we know how we shall be afraid of death, or why we shall fear for death. Already two lines in Savitri Sri Aurobindo speaks of, this world is a brute mechanic accident. The creation of the world, universe, as we know, as per the Big Bang theory, Sri Aurobindo also quotes here on that theory, on that principle. This earth is a brute mechanic accident. This world is a brute mechanic accident. Accidentally it has been created, brutally, and brute mechanically also. Brute mechanic accident. A net of death in which by chance we live. We live being besieged by death. Death is like its death's net is actually throughout us. It is surrounding us everywhere we go. It is there. And death, my also Lord says, death my tunnel I drive through life to reach the unseen distances of bliss. To initially I told, it is actually we are living being besieged by death, net of death in which by chance we live. Lord assures us in all the time, in the all steps of our achievement, that death, don't be afraid of death. Death is there. I am actually taking you through the tunnel of death. And this tunnel is mine. Death my tunnel I drive through life to reach my unseen distances of bliss. There is a bliss. I am carrying all of you to reach that bliss. That is the end of the tunnel. There is bliss. On that is at a unseen distance. So I am carrying you. I am guiding you. I am taking you through my tunnel. This death is my tunnel I drive through life. We will go for a couple of definitions. Like Francis Bacon, men fear death. What Francis Bacon says, men fear death as the children fear go into darkness. Normally, the children fear to go into the darkness. There is an obvious fear in them. They are afraid of darkness. Like children fear going into the darkness, thus men fear equivalently in the same manner for death. The contemplation of death as the wages of sin and a passage to another world. So nothing to worry, passage to another world. No, it is a contemplation of death as the wages of sin and a passage to another life. Death, again Bacon writes and rewrites, that openeth gate to the good fame and extinguisheth envy. Whatever envy there is there, that is extinguished by the approach of death, with the arrival of death, by staying under the grip of death. And it openeth the gate to good fame. Like this, Shakespeare is also having some observations, very nice observation on death. Cowards die many times before death. They don't know what is death, so they die many times before truly this death is coming for them. But in Julius Caesar it is written, the valiant never taste of death but once. For the valiant, death comes only once. They don't fear, they don't get distorted, they don't feel worried for this death. Like this, the metaphysical poet John Donne is also having some observations on death. One short sleep past, we may wake eternally. Short sleep, because after death we will have a little rest. Then we will wake up at the morning. In the evening we are sleeping, and morning we are getting up and going in our traditional lifestyle. So one short sleep past, it will go past. Then after this short sleep is gone, we wake eternally, and the death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. There will be no death for us. There will be the death of the real death. Another observation, another message from John Donne. O death, be not proud, thou art a spite wicked. You have nothing to do. You are now shouting as the death shouts, I am the immobile in which all things move. Sri Aurobindo Savitri, you can remember. Where the Lord of Death shouts like anything, I am the immobile in which all things move. I am the nude inane in which they cease. I have no eye, no ear to commune, because, O aspirant to divinity, thou callest me to wrestle with thy soul. I have assumed a form, a face. So he is telling that I am the beginning and I am the end. All emerge from me, and at the end they come to me for rest and peace. And again also he says, Lord of Death speaks up that the gods whom man prays can help not man. The gods can never help the man whom man actually prays, because these gods are my imaginations and my moods, whom thou art praising at the omnipotent, omniscient or Savior. They are my imaginations and my moods, reflected on them by the Spirit's power. By the Spirit's reflection they have been created. They are no more, they get abided with me. And again also he complains of, he threatens that the soul, we know the spark of the absolute, the spark of the divine, but it is immortal. Lord of Death claims the soul also, I am one refuge of thy soul. At last soul also comes to my refuge, I am one refuge of thy soul. Like this, here also John Donne's observation we can see, O death, be not proud, don't be proud, don't get proud. Thou art a spy to a wicked. You are spying for the wicked only, you don't have anything to do. Then another observation we can see, Bertrand Russell. He had a very nice significant letter to his friend mathematician Thomas Hardy. Russell writes, if after 5 minutes I will be able to know that you are going to die, I will be worried, because you are my great friend, you are my bosom friend. But once more, I know because you are going to die after 5 minutes, I will be worried because you are my friend. But thing is that I will be much more happy than this worry, because I have known the significance, the mystery of death, that you are going to die within 5 minutes. That sheer calculation will give me much more pleasure than this death. Then Sri Aurobindo also quotes here, in a world of beings and momentary things, all must die to live or live to die. Don't worry, nothing to worry. Die to live or live to die, because immortal by renewed mortality. Mortality by renewal of the immortality by the renewal of mortality. Like we are renewing our driving license, like this our other license, like this, immortal by renewed mortality. We must see the types of death. Here we can observe the types of death. Normally we see the types of death in 3 types of death. Before going for that one, we can observe Sri Aurobindo's observation how the death comes and how the death is happening. We know that external death marked missing. He is dying. We are doing the cremation and all, taking him to the graveyard. Then he is marked missing. We are actually, his physical presence is no more. Only he will be a memory and hanging on the hanging like a portrait portrait on the wall, he marked missing in the register of the souls. That is the external death. Second type of death we know, man is living, he is moving here and there, but we can feel his presence as he is actually alive. No problem that is, but still then we will find he is dead. That is known as inner death. Outer death, he is dead and gone, and we have cremated him, we have served, he is marked missing in the register of the souls. Second time of death is the inner death. Sri Aurobindo describes here, this is the tragedy of our inner death. Tragedy, its opposite comes comedy. So outer death is a comedy because we are cremating, he is taking a burn voyage, we are saying bye bye, then his soul has to go. Basangsi jinnani jatha vihaya navani grunhanti naro purani. So it is just like we are changing our robes, our clothes. So another cloth we are putting on. Thus we are leaving behind this body. When this consciousness is far ahead of this body, naturally this body can't synchronize, can't work coinciding with this higher elevated consciousness. For that only consciousness, for this to cope with the elevated consciousness of the soul, naturally this body has to be left up. Then death comes. So basang sijanani jatha behind, as it is, the old robe is thrown away and a new one is put on. Like this body has to be thrown and a new body has to come. That spirit, our soul has come to gather experience, to progress and to develop. So all this progress and development can be achieved in a single life. For that we have to take life after life. Many lives we have taken already, so many lives we have taken. It is eternally this process, this journey is going on. Now itself Sri Aurobindo speaks of that thus in that manner this for that this outer death is there, it is helpful, and we are happy to meet this outer death. But there is also an inner death, but nobody knows. Sri Aurobindo speaks of, this is the tragedy. Outer death is a comedy because it is preparing for the next birth in a new fashion, in a new manner, in a burning manner, in a glorious manner. But here the inner death, man will be staying, but actually he is dead. This is called tragedy. Outer death is known as comedy. This is the tragedy of our inner death. When it happens, when forfeited are the divine elements, so many divine elements have been bestowed upon us. With that inner divinity, these divine elements, we are actually eternal. That is, these are the eternal avatar in man that Sri Aurobindo observes. The inner divinity is the eternal avatar in man. Here Sri Aurobindo speaks of, this is the tragedy of our inner death. When it happens, when forfeited are the divine elements, few or many, or balanced or middle, in so many divine elements have been bestowed upon us we possess. When these are forfeited, after getting forfeited, only two things are needed, two stakes behind. That is known as only a body and mind. Two things live to die. They have nothing to do. They are awaiting the hour when to die. This is the second type of the death. After outer death, this is the inner death. Third death is there. We know people are dead. They are not living in our midst. We have forgotten. We have taken for granted that they are dead. No more they are here. But Sri Aurobindo observes here, beings of many kingdoms neared and spoke, the ever-living whom we name as dead. Another type of category of beings there, Sri Aurobindo sketches, when he was going in the upward way for this upward journey, he found beings of many kingdoms, not only from one kingdom or one world, beings of many kingdoms neared and spoke. They neared him and had a talk, spoke to him. They are ever living, they don't die, whom we name as dead. We have felt they are actually dead. So these are the three types of death we are emphasizing. We are summarizing three types of death. So now death is necessary because without death new birth will not come, and for this new birth we have to take, the soul has to take the experience. For that death is necessary. Death is our spirit's opportunity. Death is the immortality, passage to immortality. Thank you.